CM Punk backstage at Raw and asked to leave by security. Plus, Vince McMahon made major changes to last night's Raw, and a new WWE World Heavyweight title has been revealed. It's all in the wrestling news right now. Look in my eyes, what do you see? Moved on by security. Oh, he's done it. Punk in the news, he was at WWE show in Chicago last night.
Well, I mean, if there was any city where he would be able to get into the show, it probably would be Chicago, but this is quite a bombshell of a news story. What does this mean? What's going on? PW Insider say CM Punk was backstage for a bit at last night's Raw taping in Chicago. There's no word who Punk was there visiting, but we have heard from several WWE sources that he did briefly see Paul Levesque.
It's Triple H, isn't it?
What's that about?
It's all about the game.
Punk also met with several other WWE talents, PW Insider go on to say, but was eventually asked to exit the arena. We are told that it was a Vince McMahon call that he leave the venue. Apparently he made this order remotely. He wasn't actually at the show physically. And that when he was asked, when he was asked.
He left when he was asked to leave. I think it's what that means.
Okay. It was also, thank you. It was also, yes, right, he didn't cause a fuss.
No, he didn't kick off or anything.
It was also reported that whilst he was there, he cleared the air with The Miz. This goes back to a few tweets in past years and comments made on air in AEW from CM Punk. There's also video footage as well.
Yeah, a fan captured CM Punk in the car park of the arena chatting to Tamina, who is everybody's friend in the wrestling world. And it was nice to see
Ross is really buzzing about that, probably.
Oh, gosh, this is a major moment in Tamina's year, and let's see her get back on TV now because of this. That'd be lovely. Thank you.
Oh my God, yeah.
But there was a fan that was filming CM Punk and shouting, "Hey, CM Punk! If you come take some pictures, we won't tell them you're here. Yeah, we see you wearing a red hat." Oh, fans!
It was a good one.
WWE fans never cease to make me proud. Now, Punk apparently, in terms of the things that he said to the brief conversation with Triple H, as it's come out, is he approached Triple H and said, "Can I wear your blazer?" No, he didn't. He approached Triple H and said, "Can I hang around for a bit?" And Triple H said, "Oh, hang on, I've got to check with him indoors."
Oh, right, really?
And then he went to Vince and said, "Look, Vince, Punk's here," and Vince like, "Get him out." Apparently because he's obviously connected with AEW and a return for there, so it's like, no, I don't want him here. So shortly after, chatting to a few people there, he was moved along.
You know what? This is totally the other way around to what I thought it would be, because famously on the infamous or famous podcast with Cole Cabana that CM Punk did years ago. About his release from WWE and how acrimonious it was. He was very scathing about Triple H, but said that he never really had any issues with Vince personally. So it's very strange to me that, and also Triple H is the one who seems, he's younger, he's more in tune with the wrestling landscape. He's the one more likely to probably buy AEW as a legitimate threat, and a reason not to have one of the biggest names on their books hanging around backstage is not a good look. But instead it's Vince, who you'd think probably wouldn't even remember what AEW is. Do you know what I mean? I find it really the opposite way around to what I thought it would be.
It is a surprising turn of events, but as is Punk just turning up backstage at Raw anyway.
Yes, definitely.
Which is an interesting one. Fightful Select adding some meat to the bone on this one, saying numerous wrestlers in WWE believed that the move was a publicity stunt for a return to AEW. So there is something that does say to me, being a somewhat of a skeptic nowadays, is that CM Punk going to backstage to a WWE event knew that was going to get out.
Oh God, yes.
You wouldn't think, it'll be fine, no one will notice.
No, surely he must know.
Knew.
Yeah, he must know. But I don't know if Punk would. I guess the question there is: would this be a publicity stunt coordinated by AEW, or would it be just something off Punk's back? And if I
feel
had
like
to
it'd be
guess,
something off Punk's back.
I'd say just that he just felt like doing it, because Punk does do stuff that he can get away with and just does it, and doesn't particularly seem to care about the consequences, as we saw with Brawl Out. I mean, not in all situations, but he does have a track record of this sort of stuff, and he's also quite clever. And I think that he would, as you say, he would know this would get out, probably get his name mentioned more, and maybe boost his return to AEW.
Fightful Select also saying that several talents within AEW that heard about it were in disbelief when they heard that he was backstage at Raw.
I wouldn't believe it, yeah.
I don't believe it. He's there. WWE talent was shocked that he even got backstage, even though he's got history in the company. We asked WWE, say Fightful, in an official capacity about the situation. We were just told they don't have that info as of yet.
What a seismic night on Monday Night Raw. Not just for that reason, but our next story concerns Raw as well. So.
Yeah, so Vince McMahon was not there, but he was working remotely. He was down the line with Triple H, and it was an old school night of Raw in the sense there were wild last minute changes to the product. Presumably Vince frantically typing on a fax machine
so
to
we've
get them
had
sent through.
So to try and give, I guess, a brief timeline, 2 weeks ago we had the Raw where Triple H was slowly taken over. Was that 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks? A couple of weeks ago we had the Raw where Triple H was taken. He went out to do that promo. Nothing's going to change. Vince ended up sitting in Gorilla in Triple H's seat and changing everything about the show. But since then, Vince has had he's taken more of a step back. He's not been physically at the show, but he has still been making occasional changes. But it seemed like last night, this was kind of more of a middle ground between those two opposites, where Vince wasn't there, but was definitely taking a more active role in changing the show again.
PW Insider Elite saying, we were told that McMahon changed finishes on a number of matches, and in some cases, we were told it was how the matches would get to their finishes. In others, it was who was going over that originally changed.
Pretty big changes.
A number of segments were cut as well that involved female talents. There was a segment that would have seen Candice LeRae and Piper Niven interacting. That was cut from the show. Adam Pearce was going to do a segment with several female talents, which included Sonya Deville. That was cut in favor of setting up a 6-woman tag with Damage Control versus Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, and Raquel Rodriguez. There were segments cut with female talent last week as well, which left some understandably unhappy as they happened late in the day. Similar situation last night. Zelina Vega and Tamina were backstage. We know Tamina was in the car park with CM Punk at one point. Both of those presumably had segments cut because they were there but didn't have anything planned. Zelina Vega was at Raw, but not with the LWO.
All very intriguing.
Yeah, a lot of stuff being chopped and changed on Monday nights with Vince McMahon working remotely. Triple H does add, though, nothing's changing.
It's not going to change.
But here's a big thing that did change on Raw last night. Triple H started with an announcement.
Oh my goodness.
Once more.
Last night he had a segment where he was basically acknowledging the dominance of Roman Reigns. He said, look, he's held the belt for nearly 1,000 days. Nobody can unseat him, as we well know. And he showed respect to Roman, but he also said that the fans deserve more frequent title defenses, and therefore unveiled the brand new, and it looks very impressive as well, by the way, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It's sparkly.
It is sparkly, and it goes back to something that we talked about a few months ago, where there was rumor that Triple H wanted like a winged eagle back or the big Goldie back.
Yeah.
I think in a news video with Ross, we talked about it and said it'll probably be one of the old designs with a massive WWE logo in the middle. Bang on the money. It's a replica style.
It's
of
a different shape.
Different shape, but it's got the big gold imagery with the WWE logo carved into the middle of it. The first WWE World Heavyweight Champion of this iteration will be crowned at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia next month. Now, we don't know who will be in the match to determine the World Champion, but Seth Rollins has shown a keen interest.
Yes. Now, immediately this throws up possibly several pros and cons, but I'm going to keep those to myself, Tom, because I believe that you're doing a video soon.
Yeah, so a little later today. I've got a few thoughts on this, and you might have too. So let's get together and have a chat later on the YouTube channel about the new world title. Who would you like to see holding it, though?
I think Seth's a good choice. I'm an Omos Sapien, as many of us are these days. I would love to see Omos win the belt. But
I love that.
That would be really good, wouldn't it?
Do it, have Omos win the belt, and in 1,000 days' time, Triple H comes back out and goes, it's happened again.
No one can beat this guy.
Here's another belt. Defend it on Collision.
I was immediately, and this might speak to the current configuration of the belts within WWE. My mind just went Gunter, but then I realized he's in the middle of his own dominant title reign with the IC belt. So I guess Rollins is possibly why not Rollins? Yeah,
I guess we'll find out in the weeks and the days to come. And for the latest wrestling news throughout the day, you can check out cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.